Hey everyone. So, if you think two-way radios are just for a simple push to talk, you're going to want to stick around. We're about to dive deep into a device that can literally analyze the airwaves, listen in on aviation bands, and clone an entire fleet of radios wirelessly. This is the TK11 two-way radio. Now, we're using the official user's manual as our guide, but let's be honest, nobody wants to flip through pages of dense text. So we've done the hard work for you and distilled it all down to uncover the most powerful features hidden inside. Think of this as your visual shortcut to becoming a TK11 power user. And that really brings us to the big question, right? What can a modern two-way radio truly do? It's just not about pushing a button to talk anymore. We're talking about scanning the airwaves, cloning whole fleets without any wires, and even listening in on aviation bands. So let's get started and see how all this stuff actually works. Here's the plan. We'll kick things off with the unboxing and a quick tour of the radio, then we'll cover its power and capacity. And then, the really cool stuff, we'll dive into advanced features like signal monitoring and fleet cloning, before wrapping up with its essential safety functions. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the unboxing. We're going to see exactly what you get right in the package to get you up and running. So the key thing here isn't just the radio body, the battery, and the charger. I mean, that's all standard stuff. But look closer. You get two antennas. Now, one is your standard workhorse for common frequencies, but that second one, it's specifically for the 0.153 to 18 megahertz range. Right there, that's your first big clue that this radio has some serious hidden talents. All right, now let's get our hands on the radio itself. We'll take a quick tour of the physical interface, so you know where all the key functions are located. Let's break this layout down. Your main push-to-talk, the PTT key, is right there on the side, with two programmable keys sitting right below it. You've also got a VFO/MR switch, which lets you flip between manually typing in a frequency and using your pre-saved memory channels. And notice those two antenna ports up top? One for the standard bands, and that other one for specialized low-frequency reception. And those side keys we just mentioned? This is where the real customization comes in. You can actually program them for one-touch access to whatever matters most to you. Need to quickly trigger an emergency alarm? You can program it. Want to switch between high and low power to save some battery? Done. Or maybe you just want to instantly start scanning channels. It's your call. You get to decide. All right, let's pop the hood and look at what's really driving this thing. Beyond the physical design, it's the core engine, the internal power and capacity that truly sets this radio apart. Just get a load of that number, 999 memory channels. And trust me, this isn't just for showing off. It means you can pre-program a massive number of frequencies for different teams, different locations, or different functions, and have them all saved and ready to go. For any kind of large-scale operation, that level of organization is absolutely invaluable. And here's another total game changer, dual receive. This lets you monitor two channels at the exact same time, so you could keep an ear on a command channel while you're actively communicating with your team on another. It is literally like having two radios built right into one compact device. Okay, now we are getting into the real pro-level features. This is where the TK11 stops being just a simple communication device and becomes a tool for true radio frequency analysis. This is where the fun begins. First on the list is the spectrum analyzer. Now, this is a feature you would typically find on much more expensive specialized equipment. It gives you a visual picture of all the radio signals that are active around you, showing you exactly where the noise is and where all the clear channels are hiding. And you know what? Using it is surprisingly straightforward. You just press the pound key to get in, and then you use the number keys to set the center frequency you want to look at. This lets you visually sweep the airwaves in real time, which makes it incredibly easy to find a quiet, interference-free channel in a really crowded radio environment. But the advanced monitoring doesn't stop there. Oh no, the TK11 has another really cool trick up its sleeve: dedicated AM aviation band receiving. That's right, you can actually listen in on communications between pilots and air traffic control. All you do is switch over to the 108 to 136 megahertz range and select AM mode, and you can access this entire world of communication. I mean, for aviation enthusiasts, pilots, or really anyone living near an airport, this is just a fantastic feature. Just remember, it is receive only. Okay, so this radio is clearly packed with features for the individual power user. But what if you're trying to outfit an entire team? Well, this next feature is an absolute game changer for any organization. Just imagine this for a second. You've perfectly configured one radio with all 999 channels, your custom key settings, all the scan lists, everything. Now, instead of programming every single radio by hand, you can just wirelessly replicate, or clone, that master radio to the rest of your fleet. This can save you hours, maybe even days of really tedious setup work. And finally, let's talk about safety. A communication device is often a critical tool in an emergency, and the TK11 has several features that make it a really reliable lifeline when you need it the most. With the press of just a single programmable key, you can activate an emergency alert. This can either trigger a loud local alarm on your own radio to get attention, or it can be configured to send a remote alarm signal to all the other radios on your channel, instantly letting your entire team know there's a problem. And for just general weather awareness, the radio comes pre-programmed with 10 NOAA weather channels. This gives you direct access to the latest alerts and forecasts, which is a critical safety feature for anyone who works or spends time outdoors. So it's pretty clear the TK11 is way more than just a simple walkie-talkie. It's a powerful tool for analysis, for large-scale coordination, and for safety. And that brings us to our final thought. With this much capability sitting right in your hand, what would you explore first?